Today's video is sponsored by Hugo's Way. Hugo FX is a true ECN broker, allowing you to trade Forex, cryptos, and stocks with up to 1 to 500 leverage. Hugo FX has a wide variety of things you can trade with 55 currencies, 104 stocks, and 31 cryptos. Hugo's Way offers a new level of trading and is able to offer market-leading prices and trading conditions through the MT4 platform. If you're interested in checking out Hugo FX, make sure to check the link in the description of this video. Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another video. Today we're going to be looking at why I think it's time to sell cryptos and the fact that Bitcoin is probably going down from here. That doesn't mean that all hope is lost though, because this could be a great opportunity to load up on some cheap crypto during the next couple of months where prices could be at a discount. And I'm going to review the charts of Bitcoin and some other altcoins as well in this video, talk about that in a bit more detail. I want to hop over to my Twitter because I spoke about this and I actually predicted the drop of Bitcoin very accurately once again. And basically what it had to do is the fact that Bitcoin tested $10,000 and did not manage to break above that, which was pretty predictable seeing the downtrend line that we had. And now we're falling lower again. So like I said, we're going to see that in more detail on the chart. But basically what I said is that in the next few weeks, I expect stocks to go up and cryptos, especially Bitcoin, to go down. Why do I think Bitcoin will move lower in terms of percentage than other altcoins is simply because Bitcoin obviously outperformed many other altcoins and really had a strong increase leading up to $10,000. So now it has to fall back down. And I think certain altcoins might be able to withhold the drop a little bit better than Bitcoin because Bitcoin is very clear on where it needs to head, and that's $6,500, which I mentioned in this tweet right over here, is the area that I expect us to reach in the next few weeks to months. And once again, I said that I did predict this correctly. You can go back in my Twitter timeline and see exactly what I was mentioning. I also said that Ethereum was a pretty interesting value opportunity. I will be loading up on Ethereum and Bitcoin during the drop, but indeed I think that certain altcoins like Ethereum will fall a bit less, while Bitcoin needs to make that full move back to $6,500. We'll be looking at the charts for all of these different cryptos though. As far as the last 7 days, what are you going to see? One of the biggest drops here is for Bitcoin, a minus 7.8% drop for Bitcoin, while other altcoins like Ethereum and other ones have more subdued losses, right? Some of them still even being green in the last 7 days, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I believe we're going to see this pattern continue in the next couple weeks, and that could be even somewhat good for altcoins. Not that I necessarily expect an altcoin run from this, but like I said, just that they are probably going to handle this better than Bitcoin itself. Not that, I'm expecting the whole crypto market to collapse or anything like that, because that's not the case. This is all still within the same pattern that I've been talking and predicting about for weeks now, which is the symmetrical triangle pattern that we're in. This is where I had bought back in and predicted the bounce exactly as it happened. Then guess what? We reached our downtrend line, and that's where I sold. I sold around $9,500, I believe, and I haven't bought back in yet. I hold very little Bitcoin right now. However, as we move lower and closer to the middle of the symmetrical triangle pattern, which you'll see that the end of the pattern is at $6,200, right? So that $6,200 to $6,500 area is going to be sort of the interesting level there. And any point even below $7,500 or around there is when I'm really going to start to be loading up on Bitcoin and Ethereum and probably even some other altcoins, because I don't think that we're going to see Bitcoin drop once we reach the end of the pattern. I actually think we're going to see a huge breakout, and that we're going to retest $10,000 very shortly thereafter and move back to $20,000. So I do believe we're going to see a very strong move after we get the end of the pattern, which obviously we could see a drop, but I really think with all things being considered that we're going to see an increase higher. However, unfortunately, right now, that move higher doesn't seem likely. There is a slight possibility to give the benefit of the doubt here because we are in a smaller symmetrical triangle right here, and you see the target area right around $9,100, where we could break out higher. The thing is that we now have two downtrend lines and a lot of downward pressure, so it remains unlikely that we see a move like that happen. We're of course downtrending on the RSI. We are now also red on the histogram and downtrending on the MACD. So all those things point towards Bitcoin pulling back right now. And that's why I believe a breakout here is rather unlikely, but we're rather going to see a fall lower into the bigger symmetrical triangle pattern. Now that we've looked at Bitcoin, let's go ahead and take a look at some other cryptos like Ethereum. It's going to be very interesting to see the comparison and also see potentially the differences on how they could hold up, right? Is Ethereum going to be able to weather the storm better than Bitcoin? Let's take a look. So right now, we also have a symmetrical triangle pattern for Ethereum, right? The end of the pattern for Ethereum is going to be, let me zoom out right here, right around $140. That is obviously going to be a very nice buying opportunity in my opinion, and it's going to be a similar story to Bitcoin, right? This shows even more that it is unlikely since Ethereum didn't really even test the top of the pattern, the downtrend line. We're really still in this pattern, as you can see on the Ethereum chart. Bitcoin just had to test that 10,000 level due to the halving hype, but now it's coming back down, and we really still are in the pattern here that is the symmetrical triangle pattern, and this pattern of sort of pullback and consolidation is going to be seen across most cryptocurrencies for the most part. Let's take a look at Litecoin and see what's going on. I have not been paying attention to Litecoin too much. There is obviously a lot of newer cryptos that are getting a lot of attention, but I will cover it nonetheless in this video. So we've got a, not the strongest, but a steady uptrend line support here. And you can expect Litecoin to probably hold on to this uptrend line and just very slowly but surely move slightly higher over time. And by the way, the pattern for Bitcoin, the general timeline for this move higher, once we're going to break out of the symmetrical triangle pattern for Bitcoin, is in, I believe, May 2021. So it's going to be in about, been, somewhat although I will consider it nonetheless. Let's take a look at Tezos here now, which is pattern. Question is, can we continue to remain in Bitcoin is going to start falling? So we're going to check that out in just a second here, but I do need to draw in this downtrend line because that's what's going to create the downward pressure. And as you can see, we're really reaching the end of this symmetrical triangle very soon here. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see if Tezos can potentially make a move above this and start moving back to $3, or if we're going to start to see it fall back down and move back to $2. Regardless, I don't really see Tezos moving much lower than $2. I think $2 is going to be a very strong support level. We also have our 200-day moving average right around there. So, we could very temporarily dip slightly below it, but really I think I wouldn't worry about Tezos moving below $2 long term or anything. I believe